Have you ever thought about wanting a solution to something and out of the blue you stumble on it? You ask yourself, well, did I feel myself there or did I think myself there or was it neither? Maybe you're not thinking that at all. But chances are what was working in your life was your soul giving you an impulse that you needed healing. And this influenced your mind, and when you came across the answer, it felt right. Your natural process was working within you. Your thoughts and emotions were being used to guide you to your higher path and your purpose. When your wiring's right, that is the way it's supposed to work. You'll just seem to find yourself exactly where you're meant to be, and you'll have a strange detachment, not needing to force anything into place. So when you're wired for joy, you tend to end up in the right place at the right time. And when you're rewired for pain, you tend to be running from wherever you are. So by analyzing your thoughts and your emotions and the patterns they create, you can learn where your breakdown might be. You can trace the roots of where your rewiring may have started. I find that most often about 70% of our system has been rewired for pain, and the other 30% is still holding its natural alignment for joy. That seems to be what society has pushed into every generation that's coming forth. And about as much as we seem to handle before, we'll fight back and we'll revolt. We demand our lives back. And I notice this tipping point for revolt is starting to change. We are waking up faster. We are more unwilling to live in these prolonged states of pain, and we are rejecting this Kool-Aid that has kept us numb and scared and half dead. So knowing where you are is always going to be your first step in taking a leadership role in your life. So our work now is to find out if your thoughts are creating your emotions or if your emotions are creating your thoughts. The goal is to get your soul influencing your emotions and your emotions influencing your thoughts. Because when your soul isn't in the driver's seat, your mind gives the orders and the crazies start coming out. This is where the scared parts lock themselves in that booth and they bankrupt you by ordering stuff you don't want from the universe. And their ability to hijack you is dependent on how you feel deep inside. In terms of feelings of validation and worthiness. These two huge factors influence how you process and prioritize almost everything in your life. If you feel good about yourself, you process good stuff. If you feel bad about yourself, you process not so good stuff. Now, the problem I find is that a lot of us think we're feeling good about ourselves, when in reality we're suppressing our true feelings and we are wearing a false front and we don't like who we are. And that's how we survive the chaos. We wear that false front. We tend to fake it or hide from our lives. And we fake authenticity because without the proper flow, we can't access our true self. So we must assess our thoughts and emotions. It's crucial to us locating where your crossed wires are, where your voice is being inhibited, and where your natural joy is getting rerouted and rewired for pain. So quickly, just the science of pain. It's simple ping matching. Suppression and avoidance keep you tied to the things you don't want. It's strange, but it's true. Whatever you focus on screams the loudest. It screams, give me more of this thing I'm trying not to think about. The voice that seems like it is keeping you calm, unbeknownst to you, your mind is spending a huge amount of time trying not to think about what you don't want to think about. And because we're functioning daily, we think we're managing it because we're not dead. We've convinced ourselves we've got it covered, but we're just barely functioning. We're like functioning alcoholics in many ways. Doesn't mean we've dealt with our core issue. It just means we're managing the symptoms. So this universal process doesn't edit stuff. It matches the loudest voice. It doesn't hear the positive thinking affirmations you're spraying like air freshener over your pile of poop, as my good friend Lloyd Burnett says, Febreze the poop, and thinking that's what makes you positive. No, it smells the poop. It hears your inner voice, not your mental one. Unless you're reading affirmations from a place of feeling whole about who you are and good about yourself, it just hears, I need these quotes to remind myself that I'm valuable. The message it hears is, I don't have value. So in walks a life experience to make you feel that you don't have value. By avoiding and suppressing, we are asking for the opposite of what we want. And this takes practice, my friends, and you can get it. You are just managing your fear when you're anchoring yourself to what you don't want and thinking that it's working. So until this energy gets a proper release exit out of your body, it's not going to be able to be anything other than it is, which is stuck. It wants to be free. It's going to give you the life conditions to get you flowing, because that's what your soul does. It just streams. That's its only goal, as we've mentioned. And the more you resist, the more you become attached to it. So we get to look like detectives and find out what our starting point is, because that's where everything can begin to heal. And once you start to experience what it feels like to release things that are no longer serving your life, you will start to crave and embrace this process, this very unfamiliar, unusual, unconventional, and sometimes a little bit embarrassing process of release is exactly how it's supposed to feel as you shift from what's not working into what's working, into getting your mind inspired by positive energy and feel-good chemicals. This is what it feels like. It's going to feel weird when you uncross misaligned wires. You've gotten really used to your record playing in a certain way. So accept that in order to get your roots rerouted, it's going to feel different.